Wait, it's showing the list if that's okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Lee Hall, and welcome to Zoom Racing League. It's Division 3 action. It's Week 8, Round 8 here in Saudi Arabia and Jeddah, and it's going to be a great one. It's a fast track. The cars are coming quick. The drivers are quick. Even though it's Division 3, it's going to be a competitive race. I am here joined by Spanini. Spanini, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing well, Lee. How about yourself?
Doing well. Excited for this race. We've got a great qualifying session coming up for you. Really quickly, let's go over the standings from last week. We got the driver standings for you first. Obviously, still Buzzgot in the Red Bull out in front, 194 points. He's really stretching the lead over Axelized, who's got 122 points. Of course, both of those drivers did miss last week if you were with us. If not, no worries. Welcome here tonight. We're glad to have you. Siggy and Raz able to make up some ground, both with 112 points. So a very close neck-and-neck fight for third. Ochi has dropped down the standings. Still at 94 points, not able to make up much ground. He's in a battle with Cushy for the 5th place. Spenny, anything stand out to you about these standings?
I think at this point, I mean, Buzzgod is running away with it. He's looking like he's gonna get the title, but I think it's really gonna be a race battle for second place. Right now, Axelized has the 10-point lead, but anything can happen here in Saudi Arabia, and it could close. Like Siggy and Raz could close in to try to keep that second place. And OG2, he's missed a couple races, but he should be pretty quick here. So we'll see how it goes.
Absolutely. The attendance issues for some of these drivers causing some issues, but, you know, Red Bull's still on top handily. As you see the constructor standings here, 322 points. Really not much Ferrari or Aston Martin in P2 and P3 can do about that. Red Bull really dominating this season. But the battle for 2, really 2 through 5 is pretty much underway and all to play for here.
Yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see how. Like, I think this race right here should be the turning point because there's only 2 more races after this, so they have to really maximize the points coming out of this race. And right now, Aston Martin have the advantage, but it could easily turn.
Absolutely, it could. Let's get into the action here. And here we are. The drivers making their way on the outlaps. We've got a few drivers on mediums. Enjoyer, Raz, and Roberto. But to start out, most of the drivers on soft tires. The traffic proving to be a little bit of an issue here, as they're all queuing up to start a flying lap. I believe Roberto is going to be first in the... No, he's coming into the pits.
Yeah, I'm interested to see the medium strategy could work out here because the undercut is pretty powerful here. So if you can qualify into the top 10 with medium tires, you're looking pretty good for the race.
Yeah, absolutely. The choice of downforce here is interesting as well because, you know, you might be able to get a faster lap time with a little bit more downforce, but in a race, you know, you got to think a little bit strategically about the 3 DRS zones here. They're very powerful, and you know, having enough speed on the straight, as Siggy unfortunately goes wide there and invalidates his lap. The speed on the straights is really critical here, and overtaking is going to be a big factor here this weekend.
Yeah, I agree. I think really capitalizing on the DRS zones, because that's the only place really to overtake, is you have to have the assistance of the DRS zone. And if people are running too high of a downforce, they can be good and they can be quick in quali, but they're really going to suffer when the race actually happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to see if we can hop on board. It's got a yellow in Sector 2. It's just a slow-moving Mercedes getting out of the way. Barberto has left the session. Hopefully no connection issues for him. We're on board with Mr. Robot. I'm not sure. I think he is pushing. I'm not 100% sure. B-Bright, the first set of time, it's a 1:32.198. I don't think that's going to be a super competitive time, but...
There we go.
Wow, that is actually a very good time. 1:28.2. For Division 3, I think CRL Navarra is a reserve, if I'm not mistaken, but that's a very good time. You got some more 131s on the board, and Raz on the medium tires, able to set a 1:29.0.
Yeah, if he's able to keep that position, that's a really good strategy call from Raz.
Absolutely. Phenomenal. Here we are on board with Raz. Let's see if he's pushing it. Buzz got 1:27.7. What a lap. Buzz got obviously been one of the faster drivers out here. There's a reason he's in P1, but he's showing he's got some speed there. That's going to rival some D2 drivers, I think, later this evening.
Yeah, that was an excellent lap by BuzzGod. We'll see what kind of times people can start pushing BuzzGod, because that's going to be a hard time to really beat.
We've got Enjoyer 1:30.0 on the medium tires. We'll see if that's able to stand in the top 10. Raz, well, we've got a car who has retired. It is PLN. I'm not sure he ever exited the pits even, but maybe joined late. Raz with a 1:29.0 that is a good medium time. Do we have a spinner? It's Enjoyer into the wall, just the top of the wheel as the Red Bull goes around.
OG just started his fast lap. We'll see if he can get anywhere close to what BuzzGod is able to put down.
Yeah, as he goes around B-Bry there, a little bit of traffic. But he's got a clear track ahead of him. It is very tricky not to invalidate, specifically in this sector of the track. You really got to thread the needle there and try to carry as much speed as you can. And OG managed it pretty well.
And you really have to get close to the wall to gain as much time as possible. So it's really testing these drivers, how friendly they can get really with the limits of their car.
Yeah, you just saw on his right-hand side there a turn ago that he wasn't very close to the wall, whereas Enjoyer spun and tapped the wall with his tires. So there's going to be some very different approaches here today from these drivers as far as, you know, how much do you push the limit. You definitely want to set a banker lap and try to get a good, at least decent time on before you start pushing too hard and, you know, hopefully not DNF, but there are walls everywhere here.
Yeah, I think he set a purple sector too, so this could be a nifty lap here.
Yeah, he's a little wide there, not quite kissing the apex, but still, he's got it handled. He's going to cross the line, and it's going to be a 1:28.8, so top 4 for OG.
Yeah, Cal put in a very good time on the medium tire.
Oh, he did? Wow, that's a phenomenal time. 1:28.8 in the Haas on the medium tire. So that is going to be really interesting. He's fitted a pair of softs in the garage. We'll see if he comes out and breaks his own time. You would think not, if the times are staying the way they are.
Yeah, so now it's round 2 really, and we'll see what kind of times, what kind of improvements they can make to their times. There's some people that still haven't set a lap, like Axel is, who's coming out of the pits right now. We expect him to put down a good time here, and Marino, he's been pretty quick.
We are back on board with Siggy in the Mercedes. He is on a flyer. Not a lot of fuel, but maybe just enough to set a lap here. Got plenty of battery in the tank. A little wide there. And he has spun it into the wall. And I imagine he's going to have a bit of damage from that.
You'd think so, but I'm not seeing much from the visual perspective, at least.
Yeah, it does not really appear visually.
Ooh. But he invalidates it.
Meanwhile, Zach Smack, the reserve driver, has put in a 130.0 up to P7. So some reserve showing some pretty good skill here today. Right ahead of Enjoyer, another reserve.
Yeah, Enjoyer, Cal, Novera, all these are reserves. I think PLN is also a reserve.
Yeah, Siggy coming into the pits after making contact with the wall, so he's going to need a good lap when he comes back out. Just over 9 minutes left in the session. Going to hop on board with Raz, who is starting another flyer on soft tires. Raz has got some serious pace in the Aston Martin, but I think the consistency of BuzzGod has really, shown its stuff here this season. But if Raz is as quick as anybody in this division, we'll see how he can manage on this track.
Yeah, he has a very good chance of actually catching up to P2 in the constructors, or not in the constructors, in the driver's standing. So if he keeps it up, I think he can maybe secure that second place.
Yeah, he's already up about 4/10 on his time through Sector 1. Just under. And all looks pretty neat and tidy here in the middle of Sector 2. And a purple Sector 2 at that, so he's really just got another few turns to nail here. And the final straight counts as their turn, but it's flat out here in these cars. So let's see what time he can manage. Maybe get a little slipstream from the McLaren in front of him. Might be a little far back. He managed to use the apex pretty well there, and here he comes.
He's already out of battery.
He is. Really cuts the corner there, and Raz goes up to P2. It's a 128.2. That is a pretty good lap.
That was a good lap. See, Cal's actually on, I think he's on his out lap right now, or he's not. Actually, no, I think he's pushing.
We are on board with Cal. As Axelize pushes Cal down the order, one down the order. He's in P4 now. Axelize in the Ferrari, a 128.4. Of course, Cal set a time on the mediums that he's hanging on to. Or is he? He is. He's just out on the track. He's obviously not setting a time.
Yeah, I think he aborted. His lights was flashing, so he might have aborted halfway through, and maybe he's gonna start it up again here.
Yeah, maybe thinking he'd rather start in the top few rather than on mediums in maybe 8 or 9 or something like that. We'll see.
Maybe, because I think he's actually pushing now because his light is not flashing anymore.
Yeah. Oh, he almost loses it, but saves it there through turn 2. It'll be interesting to see what kind of time Cal can set after having set such a great time on the mediums. That is pretty tidy, except he cut the corner too much and invalidated.
Yes, too much.
I think we got OG on another flyer.
Yep, he just started his flyer.
So where can the Red Bull end up? Well, he ended up way too far off the track and has also invalidated. This sector proving difficult for many drivers.
Yeah, especially if these drivers are doing their lower downforce. It's the Sector 1 is going to be the hardest part of their run here.
So Siggy trying again. We're back again with Siggy. Hoping he can set a lap this time. Maybe we shouldn't follow on board. Maybe he'll be able to set a lap if we're not watching. And he's very wide there, a little slow on the power. And a little wide on that turn, so not the tidiest lap we've seen, but Siggy at this moment just needs to set a time, get his feet under him, and get moving. Although it's showing up as a purple sector too, so Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised. Imagine if he was hitting the apex a bit better, he could have been even better.
Absolutely. Yeah, we did follow on board. He did miss these apexes, so but obviously not a solo lap, although he misses that apex as well. So we'll see. Seeing some of these drivers cut the corners, and Siggy it's good enough for P11, a 130.6. On board with Zach Smack now. It's his second flying lap in the Alpine, the reserve driver. As Marino has managed to set a time on the soft tire, it's a 128.6, putting him up to P5. Roberto, parked in a dangerous location, is disqualified. Hopefully that was not a bug. Nonetheless, he was not able to set a time. That's really upsetting.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Roberto.
And what can Zach Smack do in the Alpine? That is an interesting line through the final corner. Not optimal. And he's just going to come into the pits. He was not up on his time, so... Let's see. Novera, not on a flyer.
I think OG's on a flyer right now.
All right, OG going again on the used soft tires. Got a couple drivers coming out of the pits. Buzzgod content to stay in the pits, but it's Raz coming out, Axelize coming out, and Cal coming out. 3 really quick drivers. So we'll get to see them in a minute as OG comes around the final corner. He does jump up a place. It's a 128.6 and puts him in P6. Or should we call it the Valtteri Bottas?
I don't know if he has enough time to really come back around and get a fresh set of tires and do another lap. So this might be the time that OG sets for his qualifying.
And we got some yellow flags. There's just some slow-moving cars. Nobody out there that we can tell has hit the wall with any significance, at least.
Yeah, Raz right now is on his quali lap, and he's really on the limit.
Up almost 3/10. It's a purple sector 1. Great call, Spanini. Here we go with Raz looking for pole position, and that has had Buzzgod coming out of the pits. Yeah, I don't know if he was following along with Raz and thought, oh yeah, might need to come out for this. Nonetheless, here is Raz through sector 2. He's got a purple sector 1. Can he make it 2 in a row? He was pretty quick through the second sector. Last time it is 2 in a row. 2 purple sectors. Just needs to finish it out.
I think this is going to be a very good time. Depending on this last corner, it's been proven pretty tricky for drivers. This last corner is kind of an awkward corner. Just maximizing the exit here is pretty difficult.
Yeah, he's going to get a little bit of dirty air from Enjoyer there. He didn't use all of the track there, but it's still... His battery is done. We'll see what he can manage. Oh, it's so close. It's a 127.8. Not even a full 10th behind Buzzgod.
Yeah, I think he lost it all. Oh, and Buzzgod is actually missing a wing.
He's missing his entire wing, you're correct. On the outlap, nonetheless. Not sure if there was contact there with the Haas of Novera, who is right in front of him.
Well, it's a good thing he put down a very good time. He might be able to keep pole position here, depending on what Novera, Axelize, and Cal can put out.
Yeah, that was pretty much his only lap as well, interestingly. So here is Cal. We're back on board with the Haas driver. Filling in pretty well, you'd have to say, especially if he can improve on his time. Gives the wall a little kiss there as he glides on through and finishes this lap. He's going to improve all the way up to P3. It's a 128.1, and that's a competitive time with the top 2. Maybe even top 4 if you include himself.
Yeah, he's definitely in contention for battling for first. We'll see what the race pace is looking like for these top, like, pretty much 7 drivers. They're pretty close to each other, so See how they're how fast they are in the actual race part.
He looks to be pushing again, unless I'm mistaken. Oh, and he's just invalidated. Yeah, I don't know if he would have had the battery for that or the tires for that. Maybe not the smartest play, but nonetheless, that was his choice. We're on board with Axel Eyes in the Ferrari. What kind of time can he set? Already got some drivers locked in as the session ends officially. And Axel Eyes has invalidated. Just barely cut that corner a little too much.
Marino behind him is also on a pretty quick lap, I think.
Yeah, he is 3/10 up on his time, so he could take the place of Axel Eyes in P5. Although, oh my gosh, I don't know how he did not invalidate there.
Wow, that was very close to invalidating.
Yeah. Obviously, in the real track as you saw today, you really can't do that move, but Marino getting away with it here. Pretty tight line there, which is good. And he's going to really cut the chicane a little, almost invalidated there as well, and he's made up about 4.5 tenths, a 128.1, puts himself right in contention and splits the Haas's.
Yeah, it's a good thing he was pushing that far because he jumped up a couple positions there.
Yeah, really well done.
The Haas's are kind of battling each other right now.
And that is going to be it. Session has come to a close. Qualifying is over. It's Buzzgod on pole. We're all shocked, I know. It's Raz in P2, Cal, the reserve, in the Haas in P3, Marino in P4, Novera, another Haas reserve, in P5. Axel Eyes all the way down to P6. He's got some pace. We'll see if he tries to cut through the field with his ability in the Ferrari. OG in P7 right behind him. It'll be a huge day for Red Bull to widen the gap with OG able to overtake Axel Eyes. We'll see if he's got the pace for that. But his teammate, Cushy, right there in P9. Enjoy, of course, in P8 in between them. Rounding out the top 10 is Zach Smack in the Alpine with a 130.0.
Yeah, one thing I want to notice is that Novera has 3-lap old tires that he's going to start the race with. He might be making an early pit. And we'll see how powerful, like how more advantageous it is to actually get an undercut on the people around him.
Absolutely. Look at the gap between some of these drivers. You've got it pretty close at the top, and then a moderate gap. You know, a couple guys 8/10 back, and then basically a second and a half, 2 seconds, 3 seconds back. I mean, the skill gap here is actually pretty significant.
Yeah, and I expect to see some safety cars here because people try to be battling. The walls are very close. We're gonna see some clipped wings, and safety car comes out pretty easily in Saudi Arabia. So there's going to be a lot of strategy play, I think, in this race. We'll see which driver can make the right calls.
Yeah, it might be critical here. Although, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, but if I remember correctly, in Division 3 last season, it was the first time, obviously, we were racing the track, and we were predicting at least a safety car or two, and I don't actually think we got one in Division 3, which was a little surprising. Oh, wow. But I don't think it happened. I think everybody was rather clean and really nobody crashed out. Of course, this is a track that lends itself to the safety cars, just like Monaco. They don't come out on Monaco for different reasons, but...
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, I expect everyone from pretty much 10th place and below to all start on mediums unless... they really want to move up the field at the very beginning of the race, starting on the soft tires. But it looks like a lot of people are actually on softs.
Wow, everybody except 2 drivers on soft tires. I guess thinking, it is possible here to stretch out the life of the tires and do a soft medium.
And maybe even if there's an early safety car, they could just pit for the mediums too.
And go for the end, yeah. Depending on how early it is, that is definitely a possibility. Well, 19 drivers are out there tonight, and it's Buzzgod leading them around on the formation lap. It's going to be some interesting battles out there. Siggy right next to his teammate. The Mercedes drivers, the pair of them in P12 and P13. You've got the McLaren drivers, P8 and P11, all pretty close together. The Ferrari drivers, P6 and P9. Going to see if these teams can try to move themselves up. And of course, Roberto in the back, he's got some pace. Was disqualified due to some sort of error. Whether it's his fault or not, I'm not sure, but nonetheless, a pretty quick driver starting from the back. We'll see what he could do to move up the field and try to capitalize on the strategy. DRS here, as we mentioned earlier, is very powerful. So we're going to look to see how quickly the top group can break away from the rest of the pack and get out of that DRS range and extend the gap to the rest of the field, which will open up some pit opportunities for them.
Yeah, definitely people staying in the DRS packs. Anyone that strays too far and out of DRS, we're going to see them really fall back because DRS is very powerful here. And the moment you're not part of the train, you're just going to be left behind.
And nobody likes getting left behind. It's going to happen here, though. It's just a question of who will be the unlucky few not in the top group. And of course, turn 1 here is always a little fun. Don't want anyone to brake too late and cause a collision. That is always a worry.
Yeah, very tight turn 1 too, so see how much room each of the drivers give each other, really.
Here we go, 2, 3, 5 lights, and they're off. It's very quick. A slow start from pretty much all of them, to be totally honest with you. But Cal got the best of it. He's already up to P2, although Raz gives him, just enough space. Meanwhile, we've got some unfortunate occurrences in the background there. It's Zach Smack all the way down to last. And Haas has spun around. It's Cal.
Ooh.
There may have been contact there. Not a clean start at all for these drivers. And Cal has got to be pretty upset with that. It's already BuzzGod 1.4 seconds ahead of Raz. And now it's Enjoyer. Fighting, losing a spot to a Ferrari, but he's fighting back.
I'm actually very surprised not a lot of people actually ran into Cal. Cal actually DNF'd.
Did he just retire, or?
I do not know.
It looked like his car was still moving.
I think his car... Yeah, I don't know if we'll be able to see how Cal's car will look like.
Yeah, it's already disappeared, unfortunately, so we can't see that. But, nonetheless, we got a virtual safety car here. Somehow BuzzGod 4 seconds ahead of Raz. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, that BuzzGod must have just pulled away from all the chaos that happened behind him.
Now, obviously, some of that's going to be due to the virtual safety car.
Right.
However, Siggy has made up 6 places already, up to P6 from P12. So a huge mover at the start of this race. That's going to be huge for him. Zach Smack, the big loser, down 8 positions, down in 18th now. As we got some green flag racing again. And oh my goodness, Enjoyer went for a move, tipped the Ferrari, and now he's been hit again, and this is just absolute chaos.
Yeah, not the cleanest start that we were looking for, but it looks like no one else really was caught up in that spin, and Enjoyer doesn't even look like he has that much damage on him. Babe respawn.
And Mr. Robot holding up Axelized here. Oh, and there's a little bit of contact. A lot of contact here already tonight. My goodness, these drivers are all very aggressive. A little more contact, a little wheel banging. Axelized using the soft tires to try and get around Mr. Robot. And he's going to get the move done. And Mr. Robot going wide there. A couple drivers going wide.
Yeah, and Roberto right now is looking to try to take PLN, and ahead of him is Yuki Tsunoda, who's Roberto's teammate. I'm pretty sure those two are next to each other. Oh, it looks like it already happened there. They swapped.
Yeah, he just made way, and now Roberto, one of the big movers, up 8 places. So already cutting through the field is Buzzgod. Of course, that's the fastest lap. It's the only lap that really mattered at this point. OG takes it away, and we'll have some more people taking it away as we proceed here. As now we have the timing charts back. That's nice. Already a 2-second gap to Raz, and Raz a 4.5-second gap to Marino. So much for the Haas being competitive, although unfortunately it looked like there was some contact maybe. As PLN spins around, looks like he avoided the wall, but we saw him get pushed off on our screen. Well, Zach Smack looking to get around Buffalo Trace, but being held up right here. And Yuki Tsunoda has got the first time penalty here for track limits.
Yeah, Roberto's now up into the points, so he's making good progress from starting from last place.
Yeah, Abrams right on the tail of Yuki Tsunoda as well. A lot of overtakes here early on in this race. Most of them clean, but quite a few of them not so much. Gonna see if one of these drivers can get the move done. Abrams a little wide there.
Cushy is actually very close to Siggy right now. I think he's going for the move. Siggy might be going for the switchback.
Oh my goodness, they were very close there. Just enough space left by Cushy, and Cushy is ahead.
I think Siggy might DRS here.
He's got the DRS. Cushy, of course, using his battery. And he's going to cut him off, and Cushy's got the move done. As long as he can keep it steady and stable. And he does. Well done by Cushy in the Ferrari up to P6. Meanwhile, Zach Smack has passed Buffalo Trace. Gonna see it here where Siggy can stay with Cushy. Looks to be a challenge at the moment. In the dirty air, Zach Smack picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Meanwhile, the Haas of Novara is very close to being able to get DRS, but just out of range. And we've got, man, right, it's Buffalo Trace. He has spun around. Thankfully ghosted there as Enjoyer passes him by. And there is Novara now fully in DRS range. He used some of the battery to get inside DRS range of Marino, and he's looking for a podium place. It's the final podium place up for grabs for the reserve driver. As Raz sets the fastest lap.
Yeah, Raz is keeping up with Buzzgod right now, but it's going to be very difficult for him to get into the DRS zone.
We've got a move made by Yuki Tsunoda, and it has resulted in a little bit of contact with Mr. Robot, I believe, and almost the wall. Mr. Robot coming back at him with DRS, and and Yuki Tsunoda closed the door completely on Big Ailbro in the Mercedes.
Very aggressive defense from Yuki Tsunoda, and he cuts the corner.
He's going completely off track to defend his position, and as a result, he has lost it. Down 2 positions in one fell swoop. And now Abrams looking to do the same. Doesn't quite have the pace, though. And this is what we call a DRS train here, as Abrams, who we're on board with, picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. There's going to be a few more track limits here that I can tell you, as he is very too close to the wall there. And he almost spins. Yeah, you don't want to be that close to the wall on your left on that turn.
Yeah, Big Ailbro right now is breathing down the neck of Mr. Robot, and he's thinking about a move.
He's going for it. Clearly more pace on the soft tires, and Mr. Robot's really just going to let him go.
Yeah, because I think he's trying to get that DRS right after, so he can just re-overtake him.
Yeah, a little slow there on the exit of, I believe that's turn 19. For Mr. Robot, but nonetheless, if he can keep in DRS and Big Ailbro isn't too slow, although, oh my gosh, sending it up the inside is Mr. Robot. And he's gonna
Now
get
he's gonna have a lot of DRS runners behind him. I think Mr. Robot's gonna lose a couple places here.
yeah, that probably wasn't the move to go for it on him. You know, he's got the medium tires on. He's got the longer term strategy. If he can just stay with the pack, he'll be able to make up those places later when he pits for softs. Instead, Yuki Tsunoda is back ahead of him. Meanwhile, we've got Novera. He's being defended against. Marino put his car in a good position there. But here is Novera, somehow with enough traction on the inside, almost thinks about a move there. He'll back out of it and stay with Marino, though. He's only a couple of tenths behind him. Plenty of battery for him as well, so a podium looking very possible here for the Haas Reserve.
Yeah, there's a couple battles going on. Marino, Novera, and Axelice and Siggy are trading spots throughout the lap. So there's a lot of fighting going on here.
And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 2. It is Zach Smack.
Yes, but it looks like he doesn't have any visible damage. So
And he's back up and running again. So that's good. Marino very close to the apex there.
And Cushy just got passed ahead of OG, but OG's going to have DRS too. Ooh, Novera goes for a move.
Yeah, Novera gets the overtake done with the DRS. It's very powerful on the start-finish straight, and OG is going to get the move. Or is he? No, Axelized positioning, and really didn't leave much space there. OG kind of had to back out of it. OG a full tank of battery as well. Maybe he should have used that on the straight to make his life a little easier. Come on, young buck. Use the battery.
Yeah, he's being very careful with his management. Maybe they're trying to DRS swap to try to catch up to the pack ahead. But yeah, he's using his battery a little bit more, but yeah, he's very conservative on the battery.
A Red Bull and a Ferrari working together. I don't know about that, Spanini, but you may be right.
Cushy though his light was flashing for a moment, or that might have been Axelized. Oh, actually, it's Axelized. Axelized is very low on battery. He's really trying to catch up to OG here.
Yeah, he's got the time penalty as well. Just trying to make up as many places as he can on these soft tires. Not had the best start, Axelized. Nevertheless, he's making his way back up to OG.
Marino and Novera are now trading places again. Looks like Marino might take him into turn 1.
Yeah, I should be able to get him pretty easily with the DRS here if he wants to.
Oh, I think they made a little contact. No, they didn't.
Didn't look like it. Oh, he just really sent it up the inside, didn't he? And it's Marino. Just barely ahead, and a little bit of contact there. And Novera just ran him wide. And Marino just using all the track to keep his advantage.
And he has more battery than Marino does. And the DRS here. He might be going for a move going into the corner.
He is going to send one up the inside. And he's coming out ahead. So these two might be battling for quite a while longer.
Yeah, and the more they battle, the faster the pack behind him catches up. Cushy already in the DRS range of them.
Yeah, they've already caught up. This battling has not helped them, not a bit. And basically still connected essentially. Both of these drivers are so close to one another. Marino really pushing him along. And he's going to have DRS here.
Yeah, now this DRS train has become a couple cars bigger now.
We've got another car stopped in the track. It's Enjoyer. Looks like he's going to be able to get moving again. As we see Marino going for a move here. Almost loses it though. Had to back out. Does he still have enough space with the DRS? Cushy now might have some ideas of his own. No, Marino's too far ahead. Novera defending the inside. How about this battle? It continues.
And Cushy's very close to these two drivers now.
Yeah, it's now a four-man party. And, still basically wheel to wheel. And, the Alpine losing it. And
I'm
that's a
very
disaster.
surprised he collected the Alpine there.
Yeah, fortunate that he's still on the track and running. He almost lost it, almost sent it fully into the wall. Axel is looking to get a move done, but too far back from Marino here. And so now Cushy and Navarra will battle. If Cushy can catch back up. Enjoyer, meanwhile, and Mr. Robot come into the pits. Hopefully there wasn't contact with each other, but it looked like that may have been the case. They're both going to put on hard tires.
And they're probably looking to take this to the end then.
Yeah, I think you could probably get a set of mediums to the end, but nevertheless, the hards will certainly get you to the end.
Yeah, Buzzgod and Raz right now, they're having the time of their lives. Just hot lap after hot lap. No one really there to interrupt him. Buzzgod's actually closing in on back markers.
Yeah, he is. He is about to lap some people already, and we're only 10 laps in, so having a great day. And it's an early pit stop, maybe, from Navarra. Marino's going to follow him in. So the Haas getting rid of the soft tires. Buzzgod happy to stay out, 3 seconds ahead of Raz, and nobody even close to them, really.
Yeah, we'll see how much of an undercut they can get here, because depending on traffic, really, if they don't get any traffic, they should be able to gain time.
And it's a Williams who spun around, stopped on track. That is, I believe, Abrams.
Abrams looks like he's moving again. Doesn't look like there's any visible damage.
OG still at 100% battery, is following along with Cushy here. He's right behind him. But he's got Axel, Cushy's teammate, breathing down his neck. Axel the opposite battery situation, Spanini. He's at 6%.
Yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting. I think now OG will definitely start use some of his battery.
Yeah, you think this is the perfect time to really get on it, especially since he should be pitting pretty soon. Trying to pull out a gap to Cushy to make sure that he can't be undercut. As OG's going to go around on the outside. And Axel is also looking to overtake Cushy. Cushy just lets him go. And a little bit of contact and into the wall.
It looks like Axel just had a little bit of a snap and he just went into OG there. Just luckily OG doesn't look like he got damage. And he comes into the pit.
Yeah, he's going to pit for some fresh medium tires. A little bit out of control there for Axel Eyes. We've seen that before from him. And, oh my goodness, OG had to wait in the pits.
That is unlucky.
For Cushy, and so Cushy is now ahead of OG. That is some team play right there, if you've ever seen it.
And look at Marino and Navarra. They've got a good undercut on Cushy and OG.
Yeah, that battling, that contact, and the delay in the pits have really helped Marino and Navarra. That is a huge undercut. And Zexmec picking up some more penalties. Can't have too many of those. That's his philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Siggy up to P3, obviously hasn't pitted yet. But he's looking to secure a higher position than he started for sure in the points. Doing pretty well on those used soft tires up in third.
Yeah, and Raz is actually a bit closer to Buzzgod, so I'm wondering maybe Raz has some better pace on the medium tire. But as I say that, Buzzgod's slowly extending it away from Raz, so maybe not.
Yeah, I wonder what the reason was for losing a second to Raz. You know, he has lost about a second to Raz, but oh no, Siggy gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. You do not want to do that. And that's going to negate some of his great efforts.
So PLN, he started on hard tires and pretty much from last place. He's doing a very alternative strategy, really. See how the hard tires will really give him track position. He's very low on battery.
He has no battery. A little shaky through some of these corners now that I'm riding along with him. And he does not have enough fuel here, Spinini. What's the deal? You gotta load enough fuel to finish the race.
I think he might be banking on a safety car, but that's a bold strategy. Otherwise, maybe he's trying to. Maybe he has some confidence in fuel saving techniques, which I personally am not very good at. So, props to him if that's the case.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll come back to him later and see how he's doing. Of course, he does have to pit again, so... And we've got a Ferrari. Was he around? Was Axelized around?
I think he bumped the wall, but I don't know if he has damage. But it's gone from good to bad to worse for Axelized.
Yeah, unfortunately, an all too familiar story as Buzzgod sets a fastest lap that is quickly snatched away from him. It's Raz who's catching up, 10th by 10th here.
Yeah, Raz is really fast on this tire right now. He's really pushing it, and they're both using their batteries. So this could be a battle for the lead here, depending on how quickly Raz can catch up.
Yeah, absolutely. Raz doing great work. It seems like maybe you're right that maybe he does have a setup that favors his medium tires. That's definitely possible at a track like this. It was possible last week in Bahrain as well. We're on board with OG and P7. He's in DRS range of Baberto. Both of them 1 lap old medium tires. Baberto has done a phenomenal job making his way up the field, but he does have the time penalty.
Yeah, and OG does have that battery advantage.
Yeah, still not using his battery. I'm not sure if he's forgotten how to turn it on or not, but you know, you don't want to be sitting on 100%. You know, understand you want to save it, but you can't go over 100%, right? So you kind of want to use it at least a little bit.
Oh, he's using it a bit now.
There he is. Wants to make sure he stays in DRS range, that's for sure.
Yeah, Roberto's really moved up the order. He started last place, and on the same tire as OG, he's ahead of him.
That he is. Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job. A little bit of wobbling coming out of the last corner from Roberto, but he's still up on OG. OG gonna think about a move here as Roberto moves to the inside defensively. It's a purple sector 3 for OG, but good defense by Roberto. It's gonna keep him ahead here, at least through sector 1. And now OG on the battery can smell an overtake. Maybe the instinct's taking over.
Yeah, now he's definitely looking for it. And these two are...
Roberto has made a little bit of a mistake here, and this is going to give OG a great run. With the DRS, he's going to get a move done, surely. Roberto's kind of going to let him go. Yeah, Roberto had to make a save. Got his tire caught on the curb a little bit, which is definitely a possibility here. Had to slow way down to avoid spinning. And that has given OG P6.
Yeah, now OG has 2.5 seconds to catch up. That's like all the time he really lost in the pits. That was really unfortunate for OG because now he has, by no fault of his own really, he has to make up all that time.
Absolutely. And we're going to see if Roberto can stay with OG. That would be huge for his race to keep in DRS range. As Buzzgod sets the fastest lap and he's back, extended the gap to 2.6 seconds. So Buzzgod may be taking it easy out there.
Yeah, maybe. Though Buzzgod is kind of low on batteries at 30%. Raz is close to 50. Maybe Buzzgod was pushing a little bit there.
Could
But
be.
he's extending the gap.
Certainly could be. As Roberto gets back past OG. OG not a ton of battling doing there. Just kind of let him by on the straight. Figured it wasn't worth fighting for. Unlike Roberto lap before, who positioned his car in the dead middle of the braking zone.
Yeah, Big Elbro just made a move on Yuki Tsunoda.
And he did into turn 1. Is he going to leave him the space? Yuki Tsunoda didn't believe it, and he just cut the corner completely. Had no faith in my man, Big Elbro. And Miguel Bro decides track limits are for losers. So even though Yuki Tsunoda just got a penalty, Big Elbro almost certainly got a warning there. And he's got a bad exit. And that's going to give Yuki Tsunoda the ability to make a move here. Oh, but Big Elbro just sticking it on the inside. Wow.
I think Yuki Tsunoda gets it done.
Yeah, he did. What a move. But brave from both drivers going wheel to wheel there for a minute. And there's another 3-second time penalty. On the same lap, he's got 6 seconds awarded to him. That is not the kind of award you want, though.
Yuki Tsunoda up to 18 seconds now.
Let's take a look at the penalties. And he's got the most by far out of anyone. Zach Smack in second place. They don't give out a silver medal for this. It's 17 seconds for Zach Smack of penalties. The rest of them only 3 seconds, other than Siggy, who's got the 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane.
Yeah, the top 5, they're keeping it clean. No penalties, which is crucial here, especially if a late safety car comes out. Penalty will really make things worse.
Yeah, that can really cripple your race. Big Elbro, very bad line through there. Probably left a little too much space for Yuki. Nonetheless, he stays ahead. Jump on board with Buffalo Trace as he's got DRS on Zach Smack. And he's all the way up the inside, but really defers to Zach Smack. Didn't really go for the move there. So we're going to head over to OG in P7. He's still DRSing with Roberto. And they are closing a gap to... Well, no, I shouldn't say they're closing a gap. It's about the same, 1.5 seconds to Cushy. I think that's what it was before. But they have pulled out a gap on Siggy in P8. So that's going to really help Roberto, who's got the 3-second time penalty. Obviously, Siggy does as well, but you just never know. And you want to pull out a gap. Unless Roberto, there you go. You never know. He's got a 3-second time penalty added to what he already had. So I believe that's 6 seconds for him. So the gap to Siggy needs to be at least 3, and it's just barely what he's got right now with the help of OG's DRS.
Yeah, I think OG and Roberto are kind of working together, just swapping DRSs to try to catch up to Cushy. And they're kind of doing it, but I think they just lost like 4/10 from when they started the lap, so...
Indeed. Big Elbro and Yuki Tsunoda making some moves, and this time it's Big Elbro who has caught the worst end of that. He is facing the wrong direction on the track. I'm not sure he has damage, but obviously there may have been some contact there. We're not sure. Meanwhile, Marino in the Alpine has caught up with Novera. This we've been keeping our eye on for a little while now as Axelice picks up a 3-second time penalty for track limits. Marino was a few seconds back of the Haas reserve, and now he's very low battery, but he has completely caught the Haas.
Yeah, and these two... Ooh!
Oh my goodness.
I wonder if he got damage from that.
It didn't look like he really hit the wall with any significance. As Novera goes defensive.
And Novera has plenty of battery to work with. Marino, not on a lot of battery. But these two have been fighting all race. Excited to see what else they have in store for us.
Yeah, that's a little confusing, isn't it? Why would you stay at 100% battery if you're someone like Novera and you see Marino catching up to you? He's got the lap times, he's slowly, and now he's got a 3-second time penalty as well from the pressure of Marino right behind him. I mean, you would probably want to use your battery a little more defensively while he's out of DRS range, because now Marino can kind of sit in range, use the DRS, charge the battery, and go for a move later on.
Yeah, that 3-second penalty made it a lot worse for Novera, because now he has to really pull 3 seconds on Marino if Marino stays behind him.
And that is an if. He's now it's second back, so I don't know what happened, but
Novera now started using his battery, and he's pulled a second.
Maybe he's got the pace hidden back there and just didn't want to bring it out yet. And he's eclipsed him. He's out of DRS range. Now, seeing that he needs to make a 3-second gap to Marino, he's Gonna start to work on that. So we'll come back to that in a bit to see what he can do. Meanwhile, we've got a battle of teammates. It's Enjoyer, the reserve, who made a very aggressive move on his teammate earlier, Mr. Robot. There have been some battles between these two teammates. Obviously, no team orders here. Enjoyer sending it up the inside on Mr. Robot. And it's a move done.
Yeah, I'm surprised to see Mr. Robot started on the mediums and then he pitted for hards instead of just extending the mediums out and then pitting for the softs at the end.
I think he may have had some wing damage from an altercation with Enjoyer, actually, his teammate. If I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken. But they did both pit at the same time, I believe. So that has cost them both pretty dearly, the infighting between the McLaren camp.
Yes, both of them looked like they had a front wing change, and both of them pitted on for hards.
There you go. Confirmed by the data. And so now Mr. Robot's going to hope to cling to the back and the DRS of his teammate. Raz also has a time penalty, so BuzzGod looks like he's got this race in the bag unless he spins. Knock on wood.
Yeah. If I'm BuzzGod right now, I'm just keeping it on track, try not to get any penalties, and just smooth sailing from here.
Zaxmac using the full width of the track there. And that is not what you want to do, not on the optimal line. Buffalo Trace not able to get by him though. And both of these drivers kind of struggling with the track limits. He does stay in DRS range though. He's only 5/10 back. And he is the only driver with DRS out there. And PLN comes into the pit, so we're going to see him put on a set of softs after 19 laps of the hard. So that's probably not optimal, but he is going to be very quick on those softs at least.
Yeah, he'll be very quick. I want to see how many places he's going to lose. I actually don't think he'll lose that many positions.
I don't think he's going to lose.
I think he'll lose maybe one or two.
Maybe one, yeah, we'll see. As Buffalo Trace gets by Zaxmac. Yeah, so actually PLN stays in P10.
Yeah.
And you don't imagine Yuki Tsunoda is going to be able to keep sticking with him if PLN has any pace at all, really. Fresh soft tires versus 8-lap-old mediums. PLN might be on for a fastest lap point here as well.
Right. Yeah, and PLN moved up 8 positions, so he's having a good race. And then Roberto, 12 positions, and up in 7th place. But he has a couple penalties, so he might lose a position or two due to that. But everyone behind him also has penalties, so maybe not.
Yeah, a lot of penalties here today, which is not a surprise. Track limits here are very difficult at times, and not always clear to the driver.
Yeah, there's a lot of corners where you can really exploit how far you can really cut on it, and it won't give you a warning. But then there's also a couple corners where if you just a millimeter wide, it'll slap you with a warning.
That it will. Carrying a lot of speed as PLN, so we'll come back and check on him later to see how he's doing. Meanwhile, Enjoyer has the DRS on Big Ailbro, and he's going to get the move done on the hard tires. No penalties for Enjoyer, which separates him from the midfield, so look for him to make up a couple of places.
And Yuki Tsunoda picks up another 3-second penalty. I think he's 1 or 2 more 3-second penalties from being disqualified, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, let's go back to that.
No.
Penalties? Yeah, 21 seconds. So you really don't want to see that, unfortunately, but he is getting in DQ territory. Meanwhile, Cushy was flirting with DRS range of Marino and has now fallen back, so I don't Not sure what happened there, but he was very close. I guess Marino just started pushing. Marino, by the way, as we've seen, not quite able to keep up with Nogueira, so the gap has been pulled out now to 2 seconds, but only 3 laps to go for Nogueira to make up another full second to avoid falling out of the podium places, so that'll be something to watch as well.
Yeah, and he's got a bit of battery left still, so I think he might be able to do it, but Marino is not letting up. He's really hunting for that podium place.
Yeah, Cushy could ruin his party if he is able to get alongside and start battling into the DRS range, but for now, just a little bit too far back. He's making up a good amount of time on this lap, using the battery, hoping to get on DRS range at the end of the lap, clearly.
Yeah, I think he might miss out on this DRS zone, but I think the next one he might be able to.
As BuzzGod sets the fastest lap, we were looking for PLN to set a fastest lap. Hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, on 11 lap old tires, that's pretty good from BuzzGod. He's still pushing.
That he is, and Cushy's just going to barely miss out on the DRS. Oh no, he did get it. That's pretty fortunate, I would say.
Yeah, and he's really low on battery, so he definitely needed that DRS to stay within the vicinity of Marino.
So this is going to come right to the wire because Marino has fallen back about 2.4 seconds away from Nogueira. And so this is going to be interesting. Nogueira is going to be able to keep pushing and keep extending the gap, presumably. But if Cushy comes in there and starts battling with Marino, that may slow them down, and both of them down outside of the window of 3 seconds.
Yeah, and for a moment, Nogueira would have went down 2 places, but it looks like he's just going to lose 1 place as of right now. This is pre-battling. I think the moment they start battling, Nogueira is going to pull away.
It seems very likely. So PLN went around again, still not able to set a fastest lap on the soft tires, so maybe that's a dream that's not going to happen. It's secured with BuzzGod, perhaps. And Cushy maybe struggling a little in the dirty air here, or maybe just content to hang on to the back of Marino.
Yeah, and they're both at almost the battery levels.
It's PLN into the wall.
Yeah, and it's certainly too late for a safety car now, so I don't think the game will bring out a safety car, but that is very unfortunate for PLN. He was on for a good finish.
And I'm not sure what happened, but that is really unfortunate. As Cushy gets by Marino through turn 1. Really sad we missed that. And Marino, a little snap of oversteer.
And Cushy's actually could get a podium here if he stays within the 3 seconds.
Yeah, here's the battling we predicted. How much is it slowing them down? They're up to 2.8 seconds now. Back from Nogueira, but Nogueira not able to fully push it to 3 seconds just yet. He's got a lap and a half to do it. It's extremely close. And how much does Marino want to push? Do they want to help each other? Do they want to... Oh, and Cushy nearly loses it. What a save. That's going to give Marino a great run here. But it's awkward overtaking here, and in fact, maybe almost a little bit of contact. Marino just backs out of it, says, no, I'm just going to take the DRS here.
Yeah, and the more they keep doing that, the more they're losing time. It's on the margin of 3 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely. They need to DRS each other around. And Marino slows down to get DRS on the start-finish. Did he get it?
I think they lost a lot of time trying to do that right there.
They did. They lost 4/10. That was not smart. But Marino apparently doesn't care. He just wants P4. And at the moment, he's got it. Although Cushy's just going to send it inside. Doesn't have the position, though. He tries for the switchback, but Marino's got the move done. And now they're well out of range. Almost a full second in 1 lap. And Nogueira can breathe a sigh of relief. Drivers not helping each other out at all.
That was very crucial for Nogueira that they started fighting. Worked out really well for him.
That it did.
And after all this battling, OG has come into play too here. He's almost within DRS zone.
Yeah, and you see him, he has finally used all of his battery here at the end of the race, so not completely letting it go to waste.
Yeah, and Marina's got a little bit of battery here. And yeah, OG I think does not have enough battery to really get DRS through here. He might be able to actually. Actually, I think he did get DRS.
He did indeed, but you know, how do you really catch up when the other guy has DRS as well? He's a second back here. It was a really good effort, but it looks like he's going to be in P6. As Cushy makes the move up the inside, it's a wheel-to-wheel finish here. It's the Alpine. He's going to have DRS. Is it going to be enough? It is. He's a half a car in front, and he finishes in P4. It's Marino who gets it done.
Wow, what a finish for P4 there. Not an inch was given up, so that was good racing between Marino and Cushy at the end. Oh, and Axelized. Oh wait, that's after the finish line.
Yeah,
Never mind.
He did that on purpose. Well, there was still a battle between. I think there was a battle between Big Ailbro and Mr. Robot. I think Mr. Robot may have lost it. I'm not sure. No, they both finished. Maybe penalties moved one of them. Yeah, I think penalties moved one of them down, so they both finished. It'll be Enjoyer taking P11.
Yeah, it's Yuki Tsunoda's does not show a flag yet, which means that his penalties are still in play.
And so Enjoyer's going to take P10. We're going to see who else takes P10 off the back of all those penalties. Around comes Enjoyer. He's not using his DRS. Does he know that he's well within Yuki's range? He does. He does take P10, Yuki down to P11. Yeah, so it's BuzzGod, an easy and dominant win, Spanini.
Yeah, I think BuzzGod and Raz, they're definitely the fastest out of the entire grid. And Raz wasn't like too far away. He just couldn't. He just didn't have the pace to close in to BuzzGod. But I would say they were pretty evenly matched. It's just that BuzzGod got the better start at the very beginning, and yeah, he kept it clean. He just drove his race and eventually got the win. It was probably a very boring race for him, but yeah, he's definitely pulling away with the points.
Absolutely. And ultimately, in the end, it's a podium for Novera, the reserve driver in the Haas. Well done, starting from P5 to get the podium. Fastest lap goes to BuzzGod.
Yeah, that was a great drive for Novera. He unfortunately he got that 3-second penalty to make it a bit more difficult, but he showed that he had the pace to stay ahead and really capitalized on Marino and Cushy fighting it for P4.
Yeah, driver of the day is probably Roberto, who was disqualified in qualifying, perhaps due to no fault of his own, all the way up to P7 from P19. Siggy with an honorable mention from P12 to P8. A great day for him in the Mercedes. So well done to all of our drivers, though, finishing here. It's a difficult track. Not everybody can.
Yeah. No safety car. So that was, in all terms, it was a very good, clean race.
Indeed it was. We just had the virtual at the beginning. That was it. So there you go. All right, let's see if we can get in some interviews. Well, he's here. So let's just bring in Raz. Raz. Welcome, Raz. Congratulations on P2. A great race from you. Obviously, you would have liked to be ahead of BuzzGod there, but you had great pace, and the two of you were far and away ahead of the field. Talk us through your race.
I'm quite happy with P2. I mean, it's BuzzGod. He's going to be the quickest out of the field. So for me, it's like a P1. But yeah, qualifying went quite well than I thought. The mediums really worked out. The softs, however, I thought I would have gained much more time, but obviously I didn't. So yeah, I came P2 in qualifying, and then race I just I felt like I was just beating through the race.
Yeah, one thing I was noticing is that you actually closed up on Buzzgod when you were on the medium tires. Were the medium tires feeling like much better for you than the soft tires?
Yeah, the mediums were 100%. For me, the quicker tyre out of the soft, because around Jeddah, the soft tyres like go down, like the percentage of the tyres go like so high up so quickly. So I had to like me and Barney were like just thinking what strategy we do. Do we pit before him or do we pit ahead of him? But yeah,
Yeah, in the end, you two definitely the dominant pair of the group. You guys pulled a big gap from everyone else behind. It must have been actually kind of a boring race for you.
it was quite boring. But I mean, like I say to myself, Britain's a better. Britain people are better racing.
Ah,
Well, congratulations again, Raz. Just to remind you, you are in D3, so we'll look to see you make some similar gains in D2 perhaps next season before you talk about how great the British drivers are. But great
Well,
race.
let's not get
Congratulations.
too ahead of ourselves. All right, yeah, cheers, thank you.
All right, take care. We're going to bring in Novera, the reserve driver for the Haas, the final podium place. Welcome, Novera, to the broadcast, and congratulations on a great drive. P3, it's a podium for you. Is that your first race in ZRL, and how do you feel about your finish?
I feel really good about my finish. It's not my first race in ZRL. I was in the league race, the league battle race, and I participated in an academy race last night, all of which I got into P3. And so yeah, about the race. In the first stint, I had some really good wheel-to-wheel action against Marino. Really good drive from him overall. And then somewhere in the second stint, I incurred a 3-second penalty, and that's when I just knew I had to push every single lap and try to gap Marino. And into the closing laps, I realized that Marino was fighting someone else behind him, and that's, I feel, what really got me the win today.
yeah, I was wondering because you definitely had the pace to stay ahead of Marino, but when that 3 second came out, we were wondering like, could you pull that 3 seconds out? But yeah, luckily Cushy, I think it was caught up to Marino, and yeah, they just started battling. And I think for a moment you were maybe about to lose 2 positions because they were within your 3 seconds. But yeah, that worked out really well.
Yes, it was very, very thrilling race. Yeah.
You did great. Are any plans? I know you're in the CRL, which is a kind of a partnership we have. You know, you guys are some great racers over there. Any ambitions to race in the ZRL full time, or are you just standard second as reserve for now?
Well, I've been thinking about it, and what I feel would really make my transition happen is if, I could work out times for myself because my schedule is a bit busy, but I would love to race in ZRL full time one day.
Oh, perfect. Well, we hope that we see you again very soon. You've got some great driving ability, and congratulations again on the podium.
Yep, thank you.
All right, we're going to bring in Buzzgod now, the winner of the race. Buzzgod, congratulations on another race win. I don't know if it's getting old for you, but it's not for us. You have great pace and absolutely deserving of P1 yet again for Red Bull. Maybe a bit of a boring race, but congratulations. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. I mean, technically don't have to race anymore because I've got the championship, so
Yeah,
I'm really
I
happy.
was just about to say that. I think you've secured the championship here.
Yeah,
So
really happy.
yeah, congratulations, D3 champion. Who do you think will secure P2 in the driver standings now?
Ooh, I think it's going to be close between OG and Raz. I think Raz is up there now. Oh wait, maybe not OG. I feel like Raz could probably get the P2 at the end.
Yeah.
Well, if he keeps getting podiums, yes, absolutely. With 2 more races, it's certainly possible. Axelice has had some difficulties, so we'll see if the Aston Martin driver can get it done. Buzzgod, I mean, you've secured the Drivers' Championship, as you just said, and I don't know, what do you do? Do you mess around these final races? Do you really take it to him and just get the P1, or do you try to DRS somebody the whole way? What are your thoughts here? What's the strategy?
The past 2 races, Bahrain and France, they've been quite hard because I much prefer the technical tracks like Monaco and Japan and Jeddah because they're more close and harder to do. So I really like them. So Bahrain and France have been quite tough for me. because the DRS trains are just ridiculous. But yeah, I felt really confident in this race. I just knew I was gonna win. Like even when I fucked up my second quali lap, messed up my second quali lap, I was pretty confident that I was still gonna get pole or second because I knew I set a good banker. I felt really confident in this race. And at the very end, I stopped, like pretty much stopped just to, why not? I was tempted to do some donuts, but I didn't.
Yeah, well, the celebration is warranted from you, and obviously, I think you're stepping up to D2 next season, correct?
Yep.
Well, that'll be very interesting. Obviously, you've got the pace for that, so we'll look forward to seeing you in Division 2 next season, but still got 2 more races to go in Division 3. Hope you enjoy it, and congratulations again on another great win and securing the championship for Red Bull. Well-deserved, Buzzgod.
Right, thank you. Goodbye.
Is this the right channel? Is this where I'm supposed to be?
Yeah, the meeting...
Oh, he left.
The meeting is
He
here
left.
for the Illuminati. You're in the right place, Revis. Welcome.
Okay. I'm here to give you all this. Wait a second. Hold on. No, I wanted to come in here, and since I admin Division 3, it's kind of crazy to have somebody not named Johannes win Division 3 so early in the season. So I just wanted to say congratulations to Red Bull. Congratulations to Buzzgod. Congratulations to Duncan for picking the right driver at the beginning. And even though the championship is wrapped up as far as the Drivers' Championship, we still have races to go, folks. And it's been really exciting and really fun. And just want to thank 2 of you for stepping up and doing the broadcasts and making our drivers look good.
Well, appreciate that, Revis. It's been a bit of fun here. We'll have a great bit more fun in the final 2 races. Congratulations to all the drivers. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please consider doing that now. The Zoom Racing League appreciates your support. And we will see you next week for some more Division 3 action. We've got Division 2 coming up right up your way in less than an hour. And obviously the big show tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. It's Division 1, Sunday night Zoom Racing League. We will see you then. And thank you for stopping by.